very, very young. She's very young. But she actually has the same birthday as Stella. So mine is 3 years, but it's okay.
Hey guys, glad to know I'm known for being young at college. So, it's springtime. Who's excited about that? So for those of you who don't go here yet, something that happens here around spring is a lot of families bring their kids. You know, they come here on recess, and weekends they'll go play on Chapin Lawn. It's really cute. A lot of my friends actually really love that. They like to go, you know, they'll watch the kids. And unpopular opinion here, I just don't get it. Like, I see no appeal to watching another person's tiny replica run around in circles and then fall and then cry about it. Because whenever a kid comes up to me, my first instinct is just to go, "Hi, yeah, you scare me and your hands are sticky, please go away." But when I do that, I ruin Christmas. So I resist that urge. No, but actually I think part of the reason I'm so averse to kids is I'm a little jealous of them, you know? I mean, they don't have to worry about anything at all. I mean, they can poop their pants and cry a lot, and like that's about it for them. But the thing is that if I were to poop my pants and cry in public, people would stare, but it would be less of an aww and more of an, "Oh God, I do not know her." You know, so that's the part that I forgot. Right. Actually, when I'm home, I will avoid babysitting at all costs because I still don't like kids. But if I can get a babysitting job, I will only accept babysitting jobs that start after like 9 or 10 p.m. because then the kid's asleep and I can just, you know, watch TV, eat the stranger's food. And that's what I'd be doing on a Saturday night anyway, so at least I'm getting paid for it. I'm actually from the Boston area, if you have any other Boston area people here. Yeah, we're in Massachusetts, it's usual that we do. But for someone who's lived in Massachusetts for most of their life, I listen to a surprising amount of country music, much to the dismay of my roommate, who's a normal person. Actually, me and my best friend from home, we have this little country music drinking game. Kids don't drink unless you're over 21. So anyway, me and my 19-year-old friend, country music drinking game, and it goes a little something like this. Every time you hear the word whiskey, you take a shot of whiskey. Every time you hear the word beer, you drink some beer. And every time you hear the beginning of one song and think it's the beginning of a different song, you drink either one of those things. And I should have mentioned this at the beginning, but before you start playing, call 911, because by the time the ambulance gets there, one of you will have one of you will have alcohol poisoning. You know, as much as I make fun, I actually do like to listen to country music while I'm driving, because then I can pretend I'm driving a tractor down a dusty road instead of driving my mom's minivan. No, I actually learned how to drive in Boston, and you know, like there's this stereotype that Boston drivers are like angry and reckless and mean, and they're all true. 100% masshole is a real thing. But actually learning to drive in Boston gave me a lot of good life skills, most of which have nothing to do with actually driving, and all of which have something to do with being able to sit in a composed manner while a random stranger screams at you for being on the road. In my driver's ed class, they gave us all these like defensive driving techniques, but what I think would have been more, you know, helpful would have just been a long list of expletives and then a complimentary list of obscene hand gestures. Roll down our window and whip out whenever we saw anyone else on the road. Whenever I talk about swearing and stuff, actually, though, I think about my grandmother. Because if she were here right now, she would probably say, "Sweetie, if you keep swearing like that, that's very unladylike, and you'll never settle down and marry a nice boy and have lots of kids." And I'm like, "Grandma, there's so much about me you don't know." No, but actually my grandmother's a really nice lady. She heard that I liked this singer named Beyonce. And so she was like, "Oh, look, sweetie, like I want to listen to the music you listen to." So in retrospect, for my conservative Christian grandmother, the inaugural Beyonce song probably shouldn't have been Drunken Love. No, but she actually really did like Single Ladies, parentheses, put a ring on it, because she thought it was a heterosexual marriage anthem. But the point is that she liked it, so that's what matters, right? Actually, fun fact about me, I've met Beyonce. Do you guys believe me? you shouldn't because I'm lying. Someone shook their head. The thing is that there is a small part of my brain that really kind of does believe that I met Beyonce. And this is a fun story. So at my high school, there's this event that's called the After the Prom Party, which happens surprisingly directly after the prom. And they throw by all the parents because they want to prevent us from like smoking and drinking and getting in car crashes or whatever teens do after prom these days. But the thing is, it has to be really awesome because it has to be better than smoking and drinking and getting teenage pregnant or whatever we do. And so my senior year, they hired a hypnotist. And so me and my friends, we're all like hanging out. We're like gonna go watch the hypnotist because we're locked there until 3 a.m. So there's nothing better to do. And I'm like, wouldn't it be like kind of funny if I like volunteered or whatever? I was like, come on, like hypnotize me. Like wouldn't that be funny? Please pick me. And so I was selected to be hypnotized. Probably because I would have punched someone if they hadn't. So I go upstage and this guy who's just doing almost like hypnotist mumbo jumbo. He started counting backwards from 100 to like put us under or whatever. I don't remember anything past 97, so mine steel right here. And he told us all these sorts of things were happening to us that weren't actually happening to us. He told us that we won $1 million, that it was our 5th birthday and we were getting the gift we always wanted, which for me was an easy big oven in case anyone's shopping for my 19th birthday. But he also told us there was a surprise performer. And he taps this one kid on the back, tells him he's Beyonce, taps a couple other kids on the back, tells them they're her backup dancers, and puts single ladies on, and everyone starts dancing, their hearts out. Me and the other hypnotized kids are sitting there enthralled because Beyonce is in our auditorium. And the hypnotist looks over at me, and I am sobbing. Breathing down my face. And so the hypnotist comes up to me, and he's like, do you want to meet Beyonce? And I'm like, oh, I would never give up an opportunity to be Queen Bee, but it came out more like, I really. And so, he helps me out to go meet her, and, he's like, do you have any questions for Beyonce? And, there's just so many questions going through my mind, and I settled for, you're just so crazy. She didn't know how to answer that. And so he was like, do you want to take a picture with her? I was like, so somewhere around my senior class is floating a picture of me sobbing in the arms of high school basketball player Miles Morris. And the thing is that after the show, people came up to me and they were like, so like, you were like making that up. Like, you do like improv comedy, so like, you were making that whole thing up, right? And I was like, if I was doing that, do you really think I would do something that embarrassing? Like, of my own will? Like that's my legacy at my high school now. I'm the girl who cried because they met Beyonce. That's not how you want to be remembered. But if something good did come out of this experience, it's that I now know that I need to have pre-planned questions in case, I ever do get to meet Beyonce. And those questions include, but are not limited to, how did you come up with such an inspired idea to drop your surprise album just like that? How do you do such a good job balancing your home life and your work life all under the public, gaze of scrutiny? And can I babysit Blue Ivy Carter sometime after 9 p.m., please?